Good morning, traders. It is Tuesday, May 25th, 2021. It's 8:02 a.m. Chicago time. It is episode number 2000. Very excited. Seems like a long ways away, but here we are. This is a testament to the fact that a small incremental effort done over a large period of time is much greater than a big effort done once. So here we are, episode 2000. Thanks for joining me today. I want to remind you that derivatives trading is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. A couple of things to let you know. At 11:30 Eastern today, the entries will be cut off for the TB 2000 drawing for 6 prizes. Okay, that's at 11:30 today. You can go to ft71.com/TB2000 to participate. The entry form will be removed, and in its place, there will be a live stream that will be shown in that same URL, ft71.com/TB2000. There will be a live stream replacing it, and the live stream will be at 12 p.m. Eastern U.S. time today, in which we will just go live, take all the entrants, randomize them on a prize wheel, and draw 6 prizes and 3 alternates. So 9 people will be selected. We'll announce who those people are. This is all for fun. It has nothing to do with trading. It's just a lot of fun. So we're going to select 6 entrants randomly, and you'll watch it happen in front of you. And we'll select 3 alternates in case one or more of those prize winners we're not able to contact them, or they're unresponsive. We'll move to the next alternate. So prize winners will receive an email with some details. That's at 12 p.m. Eastern. Again, entries will be cut off at exactly 11:30 Eastern today. And you can go to ft71.com/TB2000 to be able to participate, and also to watch the live stream, and also to come back and watch it in the evening if you want to know what the results were. But we'll be contacting winners through your email information that you provided. So back to the TB. Here we are, the morning of the 25th, which also happens to be my anniversary with my amazing wife, Lena. This is our 8th anniversary today, so a lot to celebrate today. But it'll be a long work day, but I'll be here, but I'll be celebrating in my mind, I guess. So what is it? What do things look like? Let's move directly into the convergent trading pre-market summary sheet. And we see that the market has the S&Ps specifically, along with the NASDAQ, the Russell not so much, the Dow a little bit. We see that we have pushed the high from yesterday a little bit higher. Mild risk on. So far, we see that NASDAQ's leading the pack. The NASDAQ's up 64 points, or 0.47%. That is the leader today. The Russell is up 8 points, or 0.36%. The Euro's up, which is interesting. And then that's followed by the S&P, which is up 11.75 points, or 0.27%. Silver is the laggard today. Silver down 26 cents, trading at 27.64.5. The DAX is also off. It's interesting. The Euro's up. The Euro stocks are up. The DAX is off. And Bitcoin, as well as Ether crypto, is off as well. They were off as much as 10% earlier today. The profile so far in the S&Ps is a double distribution profile. 145,000 contracts traded. About 82% of the overnight inventory is long. 82%, and we have about 17 and a half points of range so far, which is okay. The S&P got as high as 42.12. Yesterday's high is around 42.06. The point of control is that yesterday's high pretty much 42.07, and that's where we stand. We have dovish statements from the Fed, which are trying to appease the market, in my opinion, because there's conversation now about tightening, the need to tighten. You know, with inflation being the big scary boogeyman, there's an expectation that the Fed is going to make an outward face of being dovish and supportive, but deep down it'll likely start to take liquidity off the table to help quell inflation. Remember, inflation is the worst kind of tax. It erodes your savings, it erodes your earnings, it erodes everything. It's just a big, broad tax. That's what inflation is. And once it gets going, it's like trying to stop a ship. You know, it just takes a long time and a lot of distance before you can turn it. If you recall, in the 80s, they had to raise interest rates of something crazy like 18% on the Fed rate to be able to get inflation under control. So we've kind of seen this episode before. What's on deck for today? We have Case-Shiller at 8. This is already passed. Fed's quarrels at 10. New home sales for April at 10. The consumer confidence number for May at 10. And then we have API crude oil stock change at 4:30. And again, we have our event, the live streaming of the prize drawing for the TB 2000 episode of the Trader Bite. We have that at 12 Eastern. Okay, cool. So that's where we stand today. Not much else to say. Looking at yesterday's Trader Bite. Yesterday was really looking for the market to open around the 75, 76 area. And then I was looking for the normal habit or the normal auction process is for, given the high overnight inventory, is for it to pull back. So I was looking for a pullback into 70, as you can see right here, 70. And as far down as 66, 67 as a key price. I was looking for a pullback to 70, and I was looking for a push with a target of 41.91. My job yesterday is to see that there were no sellers, is to assess whether the rotations are bigger on the upside versus the downside, then find a consolidation to lean against to get long on an inside-out trade to 41.91. That was the plan. This is 41.91 here, a single print. And then I said that if it doesn't stall at 41.91, then it's very likely to push through to 4,200. And that's basically what it did. So let's take a look at what that looked like in real time. That's the theory or the plan based on auction principles, but what really happened. Look at the number of rotations yesterday on a 4-tick Renko, again using 3 pixels. Well, let's go to 3 pixels per bar, which is our kind of default. Look at how small this is. This was a kind of a unidirectional market, really, and it just kept pushing higher and higher. There were not a lot of rotations yesterday, making it a toughish trade. But overall, very, very clear, a very clear push at the beginning. Saw some sides going across in the heat map. On the open, it seemed like market on open business was done very early, very quickly. 41.77.75 down to 41.73.50 for the opening swing. Then we push to 41.80 and we get this higher low. So now we're looking for a consolidation to lean against for a breakout trade. And it took place right here. But man, this region was really choppy, and it just looked like it was going to be a very choppy trade and probably get chopped to pieces. But we do have a solid consolidation. We have a good area to lean against, and it finally takes off, pulls back to the prior high, almost to the tick, and then continues. And then from there, it is just about managing the trade. The initial balance is put in at 41.96. 41.91 was done relatively early. We did not have any hesitation there at 41.91. In fact, we pulled back to 92.25 and then continued higher into 42.06. It was a grind up yesterday. Did not lean against the VWAP much, did not lean against the mid much. And what we did is we shifted the point of control higher, therefore telling us that we're accepting higher prices. The delta was flat through most of the session yesterday. Look at this delta as price has moved from the open 76 to 96, 20 points. The delta was pretty much zero. There wasn't a lot of lifting and continued lifting. There was 100 lot lifted, 100 lot hit, 100 lot lifted, 100 lot hit. And we had several 3,000 lot sweeps down that were immediately lifted by 100, 150 lots. There was another 2,500 lot hit that was lifted again. And it just seemed like, it's not like there wasn't any volume on the tape. There was, but it was both directions, kind of odd. But the end result is, as we pushed to the high of 4,200, we saw sellers step in, aggressive sellers step in, causing the delta to just immediately drop. So we put in a high of 42.06. We put in a small lower high, which if I had any reason to get short in that 05, 06 area, this would be the setup to short the break right here and look for the IB high at 96 from around 42.02 to 96 with about 3 points of a stop. That's a 2R factor trade. It's a decent trade. But the largest rotation yesterday was down, and then it ended up finishing below 4,200 and holding steady, finishing right on top of the point of control. That was yesterday. Moving on to the overnight session. The overnight session opens right up. It pushes higher, consolidates through the Asian session, and then Europe really brings in a little bit of buying, but we haven't really accomplished much. There are two distributions last night from the extended trading hours, but really there's not much to glean from this profile. Very standard action, overnight action, 147,000 or 151,000 contracts now. The volume's there. By the way, volume was light yesterday for the day session. It was 824,000, I think, versus 1.1 million on this rally. So the rally was really low volume, low volatility, kind of moving up on thin air type of action. And then we're kind of doing the same in the overnight session. Note that the full session VWAP mid are in the 04, 05 area with the overnight point of control at 07. The current condition of the market is it's balanced. We are holding mid, VWAP, and the overnight point of control all in the same space. And the delta is positive, but it really there's not much to show for it. Here's the overall picture as we review where the market is headed, and this is the W formation that I had talked about. Here it is, W formation with a pivot at the 78 quarter, with a key area at 80 through 83. We've beat this little thing to death. 80 to 83, this area. Once we clear this area, as I said, we're likely to push to 4,200, which we did yesterday. And so now where we are, We are in this, we stopped in this low volume node that was created 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago and 4 weeks ago. So we're in this region right here. See this low volume node, which translates into the profile as that low volume node area. That's basically the overnight high at 42.12. Once we get over 42.12 and if we remain bid above 42.12, we're looking at all-time highs because there isn't much. There's a high volume node up here, but these are weak highs. These are weak highs at the high. And so to me, it just doesn't seem like there's much holding this back. This is really a short squeeze, as we had talked about last week. Once we put in the 40.55 and we gap up and run, I indicated that 55, if it gets taken, is bad news for shorts, and here we are, 50 points above that. Okay. As far as what the heat map is showing, overall, not much there. Again, there's some size at the 42.20 up above, but the key area here, the 42.12, you could see is relatively thin. We're not seeing dark lines. There's some size over at the century figure, which makes sense, 4200. But other than that, the heat map has been difficult, or has had a hard time providing indications of what the overall picture is. And if we look at the progression of the price action versus the profile, we see that overall value is shifting higher. Value, the blue is value, and you can see value is shifting higher on an on a full session basis. We are shifting the point of control from there to there. The point of control is this maroon line. We're shifting the point of control up and up and up. Yesterday's point of control is basically today's low, and we're holding against highs. So to me, it looks to me like we're just not successfully finding sellers yet. The market hasn't successfully found sellers. If you want to see a successful find of the opposing force, look at the 51 or the 55 lows. It's an immediate reaction. It's kind of a V bottom, or on a high, it's a push and then a very quick pullback like we saw yesterday. So yesterday's top looked like it was an excess high, but here we are above it. It's an immediate push down with a lower high that then breaks to the other side. That's when we see that we found ourselves some sellers, and the buying is likely to stop. Right now, doesn't look that way at all. So let's take a look at what's expected for today. Again, I want to remind you the drawing for the prizes. The prizes were increased from 3 to 6 Edge Pro X subscriptions for 3 months. We'll choose 6 winners today with 3 backups at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Here's what we're expecting for today. It takes me a second to put the chart together. Today's expectations. Looking for, let me check something. Looking for, so we're opening just at the prior day's high with a long inventory of 80%. The expectation is a small push to the downside. I'm expecting it to test as far down as this 4,200, this peak right here. We hit 4,200 yesterday and came off. I'm expecting it to push as far down as 4,200. Then turn up, take out the single print at 14 from way back, the beginning of the month, and then get through this 42.12 low volume node, and then start moving to the higher volume node in this region. Just start making its way to 42.21. Remember, there's some size at 20. That's where what I'm looking for as a key target today. That's scenario 1, 42.21. The secondary scenario, so what are we looking for to play that scenario? We're looking for selling that comes in, gets exhausted, puts in a higher low, and then we see some size lifting, and we're looking to join that. And if we can't join that first push, then look for it to form a zipper, push higher, pull back to that area, look for a long, use the zipper as your stop area, as the area to lean against, looking for, expecting it to continue higher. Secondary, open auction, we're opening on top of VWAP, full session VWAP, full session mid, the overnight point of control. Open auction that squeezes through the 42.12, gets into the 14 single prints, 15, and then fails to hold on, and we get an impulse. An impulse, we're looking for about 11 points or better back to the open, and then we're looking for 4,200, and then potentially testing all the way down to the 41.91 and potentially the 41.85. There's a single print we're left behind yesterday at 85. That's the 85 right here. 85. And then the 91 from above. Remember the 91 from yesterday? That's scenario 2. Scenario 2 has better range. We'll probably have better volume, but I'm happy for it to go in either direction. We're opening right against yesterday's high, which makes it a little bit choppy. I'm going to leave you there. Again, last chance this morning to enter your name and information for the prize drawing, ft71.com/TB2000, and join me again at 12 o'clock on the live stream to select the prize winners. You may be one of those. Good luck.